Gravitational constant variable. Wait, is that even possible? Oh, let's start over. Force equals mass times acceleration, of course. That's Newton. But how many newtons are required to maintain a constant mass? By the inverse of...
Psst, Doc!
Marty, have you found my younger self yet?
Guess who I bumped into at the soup kitchen? My grandfather.
No!
Don't worry, I didn't talk to him or change his future or anything.
Good.
I wish I could, though. This era's tannin is treating him like dirt.
Don't worry. If history plays out as it's supposed to, he'll soon be out from under Kit Tannen's thumb and free to live out his life as a humble accountant with your grandma. What was her name again?
Sylvia.
Right, Sylvia.
What's the story with this kid Tannen jerk anyway?
Biff's father? By this time next year, he'll be pulling down a life sentence in San Quentin. There was even a song about it.
Wait, if Biff will be born in 1938 and Kid will be in prison...
As I recall, he escaped from prison in 1937 for about 3 hours.
That's a busy 3 hours.
No kidding.
What do you know about Edna Strickland?
Edna? We never really socialized when I was younger. She was a few years older than me, and we traveled in different socioeconomic circles. Why do you ask?
She thinks you're a hero for burning down that speakeasy. She's doing a story on you.
A story? Oh, yes, now I remember. Ask Edna, the etiquette column that doubled as a pro-temperance soapbox. She believed that the consumption of alcohol would inevitably lead to a complete societal breakdown.
Sounds like a fun gal.
You should have seen her when the hippies started showing up in the 60s. She just somehow lost her mind.
That would explain a lot. I know this really isn't the right time or place, but I found your notebook.
Ah, so that's where I left it. Why'd you bring it here?
Because the bank's selling off all your stuff.
They can't do that.
That's what I keep trying to tell them.
Well, you hold on to it for safekeeping. We'll deal with my financial situation in 1986 after we saved me from a grisly death in 1931.
How'd you wind up in jail in 1931 anyway?
During my trip to the past, I decided to look into one of Hill Valley's unsolved mysteries.
The fire at the speakeasy.
Exactly. I thought I was safely hidden across the street. But when the fire started, there was a tremendous explosion, and I was knocked unconscious by a stray brick. When I woke up, I was here in jail, charged with arson.
That's horrible.
I know. Worse yet, I still don't know who started the fire.
Where have you been all this time? I missed you.
I've missed you too, Marty. But I thought it was important to let you live your own life for a while, free from the insanity of time travel.
I gotta admit, it was nice to not have my family history blowing up in my face for a few months.
Besides, I've been busy raising my own unpredictable teenagers.
So how are Clara and the kids?
They're fine. Right now we're trying to decide where to send Jules and Vern to college. Clara prefers the 2020s, but I'm partial to the 1960s. We're planning on visiting you and Jennifer in 2011 soon.
Me and Jennifer? In 2011?
Oh, forget I said anything.
Where'd the DeLorean come from? The last time I saw it had been smashed to pieces by a train.
It's a fantastic story. Do you remember when the DeLorean got struck by lightning in 1955?
Yeah?
Unbeknownst to either of us, the lightning produced a temporal duplicate of the time machine, one that was tossed 70 years into the future.
What?
I found out about it during a trip to 2025 and recovered it just in time to stop Griff Tannen from vandalizing the time stream.
Heavy. So that DeLorean...
It's for all intents and purposes the exact same machine as the original. Plus or minus little bells and whistles I've added over the years, of course.
So, what were you doing in 1931 anyway?
Oh, nothing terribly exciting. Indulging in a little personal nostalgia, picking up a few rare out-of-print books to surprise Clara on her birthday, solving a historical mystery or two. The usual.
The usual. You lead a pretty unusual life, Doc.
It's an unusual universe, Marty.
So, Doc, does this ring a bell?
Oh, think, Emmett, think. H to the A multiplied by the inverse of A. H to the A multiplied by the inverse of A.
Good grief! Is that me? I sound so...
Young?
I was gonna say intense. I forgot how wound up I used to get.
Yeah, but what are you muttering about?
Oh, that's easy. It's Ivanov's conundrum. Just tell my younger self that H equals a Hamiltonian operator.
Won't giving him the answer mess up the time stream?
Only if it turns out that reality is actually nothing more than a holographic illusion created by the interplay of subatomic particles on a vast two-dimensional membrane.
So...
It'll be fine.
hang in there, Doc.
Not the best choice of words, Marty.
No. Not possible. No.
I don't need to go in there anymore.
Now, if H stands for the one-dimensional harmonic oscillator, then naturally H2A multiplied by the...
Will you just give me a chance?
Harassment's a federal crime, Mr. Callahan.
Maybe H equals the Hamiltonian operator.
What did you just say?
I said maybe H equals the...
Hamiltonian operator?
Yeah.
Great Scott! If H is a Hamiltonian, then H to the A multiplied by the inverse of H can only be the same as the expectation value for A. That's it! That's the solution to Ivanov's conundrum, the problem I've been wrestling with in my head all week!
I'm sure you would have figured it out by yourself in a day or two. The way you figured out how to build that rocket-powered drill.
Where did you learn so much about science?
Well, it's like this.
You know about my rocket power drill? Then there can only be one explanation.
What?
You're from the patent office. I confess I didn't quite know what to expect when I sent the paperwork, but I never expected this. Welcome! I'm at your service. What can I do for you?
Can I see your rocket-powered drill?
Of course. Naturally, it's just a scale model, but it's nearly operational. I can show it to you, say, first thing in the morning.
Nah, that's no good. I need to see a full-size model. That's fully operational. Tonight. Otherwise, we'll have to award the patent to a competing inventor, Dr. McCoy.
It can't be done! I mean, it might be possible to construct a full-size working model in that time frame, but I haven't got the main ingredient for the fuel.
I'll get it for you. What is it?
190 proof grain alcohol. And you know how difficult it is to get a hold of alcohol these days.
Especially now that someone's blown up the speakeasy.
And besides, there's no way I can get off work until I've delivered the subpoena. Part of the investigation into the business affairs of Kid Tannen. Is it vitally important you see that rocket-powered drill today?
Yes. Is it vitally important you deliver that subpoena today?
Yes!
Listen, I'll help you deliver it, and I'll see to it you get the alcohol you need. It'll help you get that drill finished by tonight. Deal?
Deal. Here's the subpoena.
I've got to subpoena my grandpa?
It's Kid Tannen.
Hey, I just saw him at the soup kitchen, yelling at Arthur McFly.
I'm not surprised. Arthur does the books for his business.
What kind of business?
That's what the DA is trying to find out.
Let's go talk to him.
No!
Why not? Kid Tannen can tell us where Arthur's hiding.
Yeah, well, he can also have us fitted for a Chicago overcoat.
Hey, Miss Strickland.
Oh, hello, Mr. Callahan. Try not to draw any undue attention my way. I'm on the trail of a hot new scoop, as we in the newspaper business say.
What's the scoop?
I've heard rumors that something shady is going on at the Sisters of Mercy soup kitchen. It's under new management, you know. And oh, we mustn't jump to any conclusions, not till the facts are in. I hope to heaven it is just a rumor. That soup kitchen is the front line in the good fight. If it goes bad, what will happen to the Stay Sober Society? Not to mention all the charitable institutions that depend on me for soup deliveries.
Did you finish the story you interviewed me for? About Carl Sagan?
Yes, but those pig-headed editors at the paper rejected it. They said my story was slanted, and that I was glorifying a suspected arsonist. As if their stories aren't always glorifying the criminal vermin that run this town. This whole thing makes me so mad I could spit. Though of course I never would. There's an ordinance against it, and it's so untidy.
You make hot soup deliveries?
It's one of my many small contributions to the good cause. Healthy bodies, healthy souls, or so one hopes. I pick up barrels of hot soup at the kitchen, and I deliver them hither and thither. Hill Valley Orphanage, the St. Francis Xavier Ranch for Unwanted Children, Foggy Mountain Home for the Incurably Insane, Shady Acres Rest Home. Oh, I can barely keep track of them all. It's a very big job.
Hey, I can help you deliver soup. I donate a lot of time to charities.
Oh? Which ones?
The, Mario Brothers.
Ah, yes. The Italians do so many good works.
If you'll just fix it so I can pick up the barrels of soup.
Now hold your horses, let's not get overeager. I drive the soup cycle in this town, and I'm not about to turn it over to an upstart. But if you're well connected with the local charitable institutions,
Yeah?
you can let me know when they're running low on soup.
As a matter of fact, I do know a local charity that's running low on soup.
Oh? Who?
The orphanage.
My, how those little ragamuffins can eat. All right, Edna, just think of all those poor unfortunates and hold your nose. Mr. Donnelly!
Hey, Q-Ball.
What?
The truck just arrived with a fresh shipment of, soup.
Soup?
Well, this is the regular soup, and this is the special soup.
Right. Special.
Hey, what are you doing?
I'm spicing up the soup. It's my secret recipe.
Listen, this ain't the Savoy, and we ain't here to feed these bozos no fancy soup. The boss has got a business to rebuild, so knock off the goofing and mind your post.
All right. Just try the soup. Well?
I can see why you want to keep this a secret.
Excuse me.
You talking to me?
So this place used to be a soup kitchen.
What do you mean used to be? Despite recent changes in ownership, this joint is still available for the purposes of distributing food to the needy and the not so well-to-do, and no other purposes whatsoever.
Right. What's a tough guy like Kid Tannen doing running a soup kitchen?
Mr. Tannen purchased the soup kitchen from the Sisters of Mercy in an effort to repair his reputation as a respectable community figure after his fine name was besmirched by the malignant and malicious the actions of the misguided vandals that done burned down his place of business.
His speakeasy.
I cannot confirm nor deny any claims of so-called illegal bootlegging at the Just eat your damn soup, pipsqueak.
Why's the soup in a barrel?
'Cause it's hard to ladle off the floor?
Could I have a bowl of soup?
You're a soup kitchen. What do you think?
What kind of soup is this? It tastes like...
Scrolle ribolita?
I was gonna say week-old cabbage.
Everyone's a critic. Look, all I got to work with is this 2-bit soup in a barrel and spice rack that hadn't been restocked since the Coolidge administration. What do you think I should do to perk this slop up?
Let's see. Have you tried... salt?
Salt? What do you think, it's too bland? Too mild? I didn't put too much pepper in it, did I?
I just think it could use a little more salt.
No accounting for taste these days.
Huddle up, Emmett.
Huddle?
Just listen up for a second. Any ideas about how to get the hooch?
Hooch?
The alcohol, Emmett.
One might come to the conclusion that the hooch is being hidden in some of those barrels.
You're probably right, but which ones?
Now, if I could get my hands on some of those barrels, I could weigh them and compare their specific gravity.
Specific gravity? Come on, Emmett. Kids' goons aren't gonna let us do an experiment on their barrels.
Oh, I suppose you're right. We'll just have to ask the guy behind the counter.
What? Ask him if any of his barrels are filled with illegal moonshine? Get real here.
Well, I imagined a modicum of subtlety would be used.
Subtlety. Right. Emmett, I can't get into the door over there. Those tables are jamming it shut.
The door? So your plan is to just waltz in there and take a barrel of alcohol?
No, of course not. That would be stupid, right?
I'll say.
Still, I'd like to get that door open. I can't do anything from out here.
Well, it's a simple matter of physics. A lever, some sort of stop. Let me see what I can come up with.
There's no way I'm gonna keep that door open without some help.
Eureka!
What is it, kid?
Okay, I've got some more ideas about your soup.
Do tell.
Let's see. Have you tried paprika?
Paprika?
I just think it could use a little color.
Color.
Nice rack.
Yeah, we got all kinds of culinary enhancements back there.
Looks like these pipes go into the basement. Looks like these pipes go into the basement. Looks like these pipes go into the basement. Ahem. Emmett,
Yes?
obviously this kitchen isn't the speakeasy.
Indeed. This must be some sort of front meant to cleverly and legally obfuscate the existence of a hidden establishment of ill repute. Perhaps in the basement.
Right, that might explain the elevator. We'll score that hooch somehow.
I'll keep cogitating.
I hope Doc Jr.'s thingamabob holds out. Pretty neat, Doc. Nope. I'm still not getting through here. But at least those tables are propped up now. Pretty neat, Doc. Nope. I'm still not getting through here. But at least those tables are propped up now. Are those all cabbage soup?
Last time I checked,
Don't you have any other kinds of soup?
no.
What about those barrels?
What about 'em?
What kind of soup is that?
It's not it's special soup.
What's special about it?
It's made for grown-ups, kid.
A soup for grown-ups?
That's right, kid. Be nosy. See where it gets you.
Can I have a barrel of that soup?
A barrel of soup? Absolutely not, kid. Even in times like these, I can tell you ain't that hungry.
Why can't I have any of that soup from the rack?
'Cause it ain't the soup doujur.
If I could just have a small jug of that.
No,
If I could just have a small jug of that.
no.
What about those barrels? Can I take one of those?
Look, kid, bowls. You get a bowl of soup and a cut of bread. The only person who gets barrels is the Strickland dame.
Edna?
That's right. She delivers the barrels to people and places what can't come into the soup kitchen. Organizations for the elderly and the infirm. You know, hospitals, orphanages, and whatnot.
So, if I need one of these barrels, then...
Then talk to Strickland, kid, 'cause you ain't getting one from me. Ah, Miss Strickland. Come for some more soup?
Come now, Mr. Donnelly. You know I wouldn't set one foot in this mockery of all that is good and decent if the poor of Hill Valley weren't so dependent on Mr. Tannen's overblown show of generosity.
Was that a yes?
Just give me the soup before I gag on the hypocrisy.
I'll tell the boss you said hello.
I'll just bet you will.